Hey, how's it going? Great to see you. It's been a little while. How you been? Been busy. I'm doing well, thank you, thank you. I took a step out of dev for a little bit, streaming at 2 a.m. your time. It's the only time I have. I've been so busy, and I don't have a whole lot of time these days, so I gotta fit it in where I can. So I get all my dev done during this time, more or less now. Um, after everyone's gone to sleep and I've got some time to myself. Um, Yeah, I stream here probably going forward 2 or 3 hours, and then that's how I've been able to get anything done. And you and I have talked about this game essentially about how I can't like find a workflow that makes sense. And I think I've finally figured it out rather than having this as a uh, rather than having it as like a point and click kind of thing. It's actually going to be like this platformer type game that has all the level elements kind of like into it. So like you still have your inventory with this bag. But what's different about it is like you have these capsules, and these capsules will have like little things floating inside of them. But when you use them, pop level elements pop out of them, so that you can use these to build different things inside of your level. So like I don't know if I have too many things actually spawning. Yeah, they're all trees right now. But there will be all these different little elements here. So like sometimes it's a door, sometimes it's a roof, sometimes it's a chimney. Um, but you'll use this to create your levels, and then it's just completely all in one seamless experience where you just like walking through and you're like, oh shoot, I need to get up to like this ledge, you know. Um, so maybe I want to bring out some of those. There's a fence. I know this is a platform, so let's bring that over since I don't have a way of like actually putting my inventory. Um, so I'll have this here, and I know it's out of place. That's part of the adventure, right? To be like, okay, now I have a platform to go up here, and maybe there's a treasure up here. But it looks bad, and that's fine, because if you're a level designer, sometimes you could either choose to make things look bad, or you could choose to make it, make it functional. You could choose to make it look really good. So I don't want to dictate how somebody wants to play this game. If they want their level to look ugly but functional to get all the the secret areas and all that, then so be it. But if somebody wants to take time and make it look really nice, that's great too. I was struggling a lot, but I think it all just kind of came together. But what's cool about it is you can build all these little things like Lego. Um, I'm gonna take this box with me to kind of because I know there's gonna be some stuff. But you'll be able to collect different pieces of your building and make like kind of whatever you want. It's like a level designer, platformer, and there'll be NPCs that spawn, and you can assign them to go live in a house that you made. Minus that error. Whoops. But it's like building with Legos. Yeah. Um, yeah, like all these are just separate pieces, right? You could even like pick it up and then change the color of what you want it to be. So if you want red roofs or different colors here, I want the door to be in front. I've got depth issues right now, but those will be fixed. Look, I just made like a different house altogether, and then um, here, like let's make this tree. Oh yeah, look at that, how quick that is just to make like a new setup. Like get on the box, get on here, and knows I can't get to the top, so I might make the decision to move that up one, and I still can't. So you know what I mean? Like I'll need to build in an obstacle. So maybe this one comes down. This one comes over here. Down one further. Nope, I still need it higher. Growing pains. Get the idea though. There, now I can get these coins that are up here. But in the process, I've made this neat looking tree, so if coins spawn up there again, I can quickly get them in the future. Or I could step on this roof or go inside that building. But now I need something to get up here. Your statue. And then I have these little things here, like some things are just decoration, so maybe like just kind of like an overhang, or maybe I want the roof on top of this thing. Now it looks like a little like shrine, right? I don't know, it's just fun to build. I can imagine people doing this like in like a creative mode and building their own levels and sharing them out and seeing what you can see, seeing what you can make. But that's where I'm at for this. I'm having a lot of fun building it and like maybe a demo. I don't know. You know, all these streams I've been streaming nightly, so you'll be able to tell that's pretty much all there is to the game right now. But you can see like all the pieces now they'd fit together. So I want to do some. The first version of something playable is just like basically a level builder. There won't be really any objective to it, but I just want to see what people can make. And then I'll layer in NPCs and objectives and kind of the gameplay through that. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. No idea, no plans for release just yet. It's just still a hobby thing. When I can commit to some time. But it's been so much fun, like you know, having these little individual elements. But I think yeah, it's like the kind of game that I would want. Like, I love in Animal Crossing, I love decorating, and I liked decorating seasonally and making things my own and sharing it with people. So if I can have something like that, but then in an action game that I want to play where you've got your character and attacks, and I think I have it in my head that it kind of plays like a Kirby game. Um, I don't know. I just think there's a lot of opportunity there for really fun content. Want to release seasonal items and hey, decorate, you know, here's Christmas lights and all sorts of things you can kind of do to whatever village you want. Hey, it's snowing now. It's got a real-time clock in there. You'll notice that it's like nighttime. So different things happen at night or different things happen during the day. I've lost a little of that feeling, like when you go transform something you do for fun to work. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I ever want to do game dev as a profession, unless I'm like enabling my friends to do whatever they want as a passion project, but I never want to be in a position where anyone's feeling like they're being forced to be creative. You know, I have a ton of fun making games, just not as 100% as a hobby. Yeah, I think that's pretty typical, right? Unfortunately, like um, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a Disney animator. And that's where my art background comes from. But after going to school a little bit for art, it kind of killed my love for it. Um, it's opening. And hold on, I'm getting a YouTube error here. If I'm still streaming, I guess that's fine. Um, After going to school for art and animation, I realized how much fun I wasn't having when I was being forced to do it. And there's some guilt, you know, that you carry with like, this is what I'm good at, so this is what I'm supposed to do. But if I'm not enjoying it, then what's the point? Because it's not like you get paid a lot for it anyways. If you're doing art, like, it's supposed to be about the passion. But, you know, I just found myself not liking anything about it when, like, people were telling me how to do it, you know, so I understand that at least, and I like making games so much that I'm afraid that if I took a full-time primary position doing game stuff, that it would kill my love for that, like kind of school did for art for me. I want to be able to do it on my terms at all times, or I don't want to do it. Some of these still have opportunities, like that goes there, but the roof piece is meant to like really straddle the piece. It needs to go over the top of it, not under it. Okay, okay, okay. Capitalism, baby, that's right. I mean, it sounds super spoiled to be like, I never want to get paid for my passions. Right? It's a little, get the irony of it, I guess. I sound a little spoiled, but the other half of me probably just makes that excuse in my head because I don't, I'm not doing it full time for a living. I do contract work here and there. Um, I've got, assets in the store and stuff like that, but that's the extent of it. I like being able to control my time. Little pieces are cool. Oh, there's an error here, but I love how though how each of them has a trim, but when you put them next to each other, like it all becomes a wall and the trim extends out. I think that's cool. I want to build a whole bunch of pieces, you know? About, remember making those. 99% sure I did them. That now, so let's highlight SPR roof flat strip PNG. Is there 4 colors? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Left. Actually, I'm gonna call this a roof block. This is where I'm like, oh, it's a design thing. Do I need to remake it so I can put the roof pieces next to each other? Because there's a bit of an overhang for them. Change the color. I think that's pretty cool. I guess if I place them far enough apart, they do overhang because of this piece here. Yeah, that's fine. That looks like an extra long building. Fences. I need fence, windows, and doors. Shut the door. If all the movement it can be done with the mouse, what's the first controllable character? Ah, that's a great question. So I found that imagine a scenario where I'm exploring a dungeon with a character. There being obstacles, if 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 there's obstacles, getting through them with the mouse, or even like consider like touch. Let's say it's touch. The game becomes more of a puzzle game than kind of an adventure game when you're just forced to touch to get your way through a dungeon or to go to the next room. When you just use your finger to scroll through the dungeon, it doesn't actually feel like you're discovering it. It just kind of feels like you're reviewing it if you could just slide the screen around. Um, I didn't like. I thought with when I only had touch and a mouse, interacting with the characters and the items was really fun, but exploring the world was not. You just scroll left and right, like you didn't appreciate the steps. There was no point in creating platforms for characters you weren't controlling. Um, you just kind of got this half in between experience. So it was fun to interact, and it felt like you were kind of like ruling over the world with your finger, but you didn't feel like you were a part of it. Um, But creating things with the level was super easy. You just take the mouse and point and click and move it all around. Um, so so that was plus with the mouse or touch. Um, with the controllable character, I found that exploring and being involved in the world and having a character really makes you feel like you're a part of it, like you're living inside of it and taking care of it. You feel like you have a little bit more ownership and love and responsibility over everything when you kind of have a person interacting in there with everyone else. And exploring places like dungeons or, unfamiliar territory and discovering things was super fun. The platforming elements, just like, see how I'm not even, as I'm talking, I'm just kind of like bouncing from like jar to jar. Those kind of interactions are fun because it's kind of like what your brain wants to do. There's no point in doing it. It's just fun, right? But the controllable character, I found that level design was really hard in the game, right? So rather than having the mouse that you just freely move, I came up with just having a hand on the grid. Um, and then you can highlight the pieces like this and just move them around how you want. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. You get that nice interaction with the hand and the level building elements, putting things together, but you don't get all the but you still get the fun of the exploring, I think is where I'm at with this right now. And it's the first time I've been playing the game with both like having a person on the ground and having the level designer like this work together, and and have it go like, wow, this is fun. This is what I was hoping it was in the first place, or this is what I was really trying to achieve. Um, so I'm excited to have something that I can be proud of in that way. Fun to tinker, you know? And plus, if I'm thinking about like, is this compatible for Switch or PlayStation or Xbox, like anything that holds a controller, I want to make sure it feels equally good whether you're playing on PC or if you're playing on a console. When you've got a mouse, you can have this kind of an omnipotent cursor, which is super cool, but it doesn't feel the same on controller when you're using the right stick to control things. Um, so I'm going forward right now, at least, with a playable, controllable character that interacts with the world and also is responsible for building level elements. So hopefully that explains a little bit. Environment layer can and should right now, fortunately. Gotta look at all that. Okay, so point, right? So I need almost need like another layer for the things that need to be like the door, things that need to always be on front. Get another chimney on there. I need a way of like making the elements longer and shorter. looks like oh, that's kind of cool. It looks like a shop stall. What that looks like. That's neat. It's all cool stuff. I love making combinations of it. Like, oh look, this. Oh wait. Look at this. Shop stall, right? I can play with it in game the same way as well. Doesn't look fine though is I want to make a double decker. Making stuff. I don't like those lines on that jar. I'm gonna fix those probably right now. Or and do things that are very not important. That's my jam. Okay, so I need one. Platforms. Platform, that's what I needed. Depth. Oh yeah, but so now the platforms are highlighted. I guess works, but it's not kind of. It's gonna make it hard. Doesn't obey the day-night filter. Just make things pop when they're like on the interactive layer. Plus, right, right height divided by 6. Hey, Casey Snipes. Fun. Searching GameMaker, and this came up. We're learning this engine, so I'll have time to relax and listen to a pro. Well, that's very nice of you to assume. Uh, I've been using GameMaker a long time. So maybe you could learn a thing or two. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. If you have any like conceptual questions, I won't have time to like do code review or anything, but if you have any questions about GameMaker, I'm more than happy to answer. I've been using GameMaker um, well over 15 years. Um, well over, maybe closer to 20 now. I'd really have to think about it, but it's a wonderful engine. Great for beginners, great for anything really. If you're making a 2D game, I feel like it's GameMaker or bust. Yeah, come in and hang out. That's the point, is just a completely chill stream, right? I'm just relaxing at the end of my day. You're all relaxing at the end of yours. I'm just making this colorful little platformer game here. Yeah, UFO 50 is wonderful. They did a really good job. And it's just astonishing what they've done. Like even GameMaker aside, like to create 50 fully fleshed out games that's playable with one purchase, it's insane. Absolutely insane what Derek and team were able to do. So cool. Yeah, GameMaker's great. Fast prototyping, fast, fast, fast. Like you can get stuff up and running really quickly. GameMaker's been around 20 years. Yeah. It's it's not new necessarily. Hasn't always been the powerhouse that it is now. I say powerhouse, but you know what I mean. It hasn't always been the a premier tool. It's certainly capable. I want to create my own Zelda games. So my Zelda fan games. So long time ago, I was using RPG Maker 95 and then RPG Maker 2000 and 2003. And those engines at the time were locked to a tile grid, but I wanted to move Link around like in a regular Zelda game. He wasn't snapped to a grid. So I downloaded GameMaker to make my Zelda fan engine a little bit better. And I just fell in love with it pretty quickly. So I've stayed ever since. I'm no longer making fan games, sadly, because that's how everyone starts, right? You're either like editing Mega Man sprites or Sonic sprites, and then you're making like a Sonic fan game. Pretty typical, but super cool. I mean, it's endearing. That's how everyone started. Yeah, thanks for the Mario 2 notice. That's a good part of what I wanted to do was make a game like Mario 2 or like an exploratory game where you've got this like inventory of stuff. But then I want it to be like usable. You could pick it up and one button throws it or picks it up, but another button lets you eat it and recover health or do what you want with it. Same thing, you'll get keys and put them in there. This is the neat part of this game. Here's the hook here, is you get these little balls, and inside the balls will be level designing elements. And again, you can pick it up and throw it, or if you use it, like this, poof, you get a level element. In this case, a door came out of there. So you can... I really gotta fix this depth sorting issue. You can put the door down, and then you'll be able to enter the door. And inside of there will be like a world that you can create and customize however you want. So you can go into this edit mode and move pieces around kind of like Lego and recolor them, and you just build your own towns. Like, I want people to feel empowered to create worlds that are their own. So I thought that was cool. So you're going around platforming, collecting things, and then building things. And then as you build, new NPCs come and say, hey, I like what you've done with the place. Do you mind if I stay a while? You know, and that kind of thing. It is the container of a gumball machine. Yeah, you'll be able to, like, get items inside of them. Made a game in Twine. And it was a fan game. Now ready to expand to something more substantial. Yeah. Fan games. That's how people start. You just create something that you loved playing and you recreate it, and then you kind of take the pieces that you love or the feelings and you bring them onto your own creations. I think that's the powerful thing, right? To be able to like recreate something, give somebody else an experience that you enjoyed. Look at this little guy in here. He looks like he's like behind the counter. Yes, I work at this deli. Would you like a cookie? So yeah, it's like what I want this game to be is essentially like Animal Crossing meets Mario Maker, where it's got the platforming elements in it, but then you've got kind of like the townspeople, and you're taking care of the worlds with these little inhabitants. I see how it works. You just build real quick. Kind of you to say thank you so much. I'm working hard. I'm doing a little bit at a time, right? I'm not made of time, so it's been cool to play and experiment. And just do a little bit each day. I'm not. This isn't a full-time job. This isn't what I'm doing all the time. It's just something that I like to do before bed every night, little by little by little. Right now, I can't stop playing this game because it's fun, just kind of like exploring a world that you created, and especially for me, like I really like Lego and I like building and having things like this that are like so. Look how easy that was to customize. Like I want it blue now, so I'm gonna pick them up. The elements to be blue, like for me. Yeah, make a game that the player can Mario make for themselves. I think that's part of the notice I have full-time game dev. Uh, yes and no. I think just prior to you joining, we talked about it. Like, I originally wanted to do art and animation. I wanted to be a Disney animator, but school kind of like killed my love for it, or it kind of, that sounds extreme. It just made it turned something I loved into a chore, and I didn't want it to be a chore. So I took a step back, and I still make some dollars and cents here doing GameMaker, but it's a hobby project. I'm not doing it full time. No. Um, Part of me fears, yeah, it would become less fun. Um, and I just want to work on the projects I want to work on. I think just doing this as a hobby is fulfilling for me. Yeah, I wish I got paid millions of dollars to do this anyways. But until then, I've got YouTube and some like-minded individuals that I like talking to every night, so join the party. I'm trying to do it every night. You're an artist, animator, art, very cool. Need more art folks in GameMaker, that's for sure. In my opinion, it's a very like coder-centric, even piece of software. Things aren't always intuitive, and how I like to I like creating visually, and GameMaker's not fantastic at that all the time. Um, but I think with enough opinions, things. So please, make some waves. I need more art people in GameMaker, please. It's just so fun going around building stuff, man. I'm getting distracted in the best way possible. I kind of wanted tonight to be about like the different pieces that I'm building, so I use this to kind of like frame it out. I have lots of different, what I can do now is actually stumps are cool. I like these stumps, so let's hit these blocks. Yes. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 colors. Here's a cool thing too, for GameMaker that you might not know. It's important how you name things. One, so you kind of know what everything is within your asset browser. So I like to use prefixes like SPR if it's a sprite. And then I'm going to call this stump underscore, and then I'm going to do something, a keyword here. I'm going to call it strip7.png, lower underscore, and then the words strip, and then how many cells are in the animation, or how many frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 logs in here. And I'll show you why that's cool here. I'm going to go into here, save it as the PNG, open up the sprite. I'm going to type in stump so I know where it is. Aseprite. I love Aseprite. Blocks. I'm going to open this up. Now, normally when you open up an image, you see all the frames of animation down here. But since we labeled it as underscore strip 7, it'll take this image divide it up by 7 horizontally or vertically, whatever it is. It'll divide it up into 7 pieces, and it'll make each one of those into its own cell of animation. So it's kind of like a GIF that we've created here just by that keyword strip 7. I'm going to do something where I don't want it to. Let me show you what I'm referring to first. So if I entered the game, by default, do you see how this is flashing and giving everyone on my stream a trigger warning here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to set the frames to 0. I don't want them to move. I want a speed of 0, so it's going to stay on this first frame. But I have code that when I pick it up and hit the right bumper on my controller, it advances the animation by 1 frame. So so essentially what I'm doing is I'm changing the color of this stump. But in actuality, all I'm doing is that I'm advancing the frames by 1. Strawberries. Just leave it as this normal one. But that's a neat way of a neat trick is you set the animation to 0, and through code you just advance things, so it looks like there's like variations, but it's just multiple frames of the same image. Subscribing, I see. I can clearly learn a lot here. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. On my channel, there's also some tutorials. It's all over the place. I don't maintain it well, to be honest with you. If you have anything that you'd like to see or like to learn, drop a comment or just let me know in general. I'm usually pretty receptive to that. I also have a website I've been starting um, that also needs updating. Here, I can show that off on stream actually. Um, GameMaker Garden is what it's called, and the goal of I'm on Twitch as well. Yeah, actually, I'm actually an affiliate on Twitch. I don't stream often, um, and actually, currently, I'm deciding if YouTube or Twitch is the place for me. In that way, I love that YouTube like archives your videos and makes them just on my channel. So I'd like to get a lot more traffic into YouTube. But I am on Twitch. I did all sorts of cool things on Twitch years and years and years ago. I just don't maintain it that well anymore. Perfect. Well, um, this is my website here called GameMaker Garden, and it's literally just like in a very first look at GameMaker and really easy concepts. But one thing that I thought was lacking in the GameMaker community or any coding community specifically is uh, when you look on YouTube for tutorials of things you want to do, it's really intimidating. Like it'll say like, oh, how to make a platformer game, and it'll say how to make a platformer game tutorial 1 of 17 or 1 of 57, and then it'll be like 20 minutes long each episode. And it just seems so insurmountable and so long, and you don't know where to look for things and when is it over and do I need this but not this. It just drones on and on. So what I created along with Topher and Selmo, who's also in the community. Hi, Topher. Um, are these little blog posts that talk about concepts like direction. So, what is it? Direction is a built-in variable that sets an instance's direction in degrees. You can also learn about angle measurements here, and then it'll link back to the docs. When another built-in variable, speed, is greater than 0, the instance will move in that direction. So it's for visual learners, right? So to visualize what speed and direction are, I have these interactive demos you can actually click on the website. So right now the direction is 0 and the speed is 1. And it says click anywhere to set any direction. So I'm going to click up here. Now the direction is 57 degrees. Whoop, 57 degrees up, and the speed is still 1. And I can move those ants wherever I want. You can see the arrows going and the ants going. But it's kind of like, this is almost the game, right? The ants coming out of the hill. It's just these cute little interactive demos that where you can visually see some of these game maker concepts come to life. So if you're new to game maker, especially learning concepts, this might be a really cool website for you to tinker around on. There's not a whole lot here, but um, it explains some of these things. Um, there's like this space toy here where it's just like here's how to steer left and right, you accelerate, and it's just a really basic game. Like there's the planet, looks at the rocket ship, etc., etc. It's not really a game. It's just like a little interactive, cute thing. So it takes the concepts and breaks it down really easily. It talks about how it was made, the different variables that I use to make it do stuff, how the planet was made, and it's just an overall like kind of it's a toy essentially, right? But it talks about each of the things. Here's how to do the spaceship, the twinkly stars. Like it breaks everything down into its own individual components and just kind of talks about how it was made. So if you have something that you want to make for your projects, this might be a good point of reference for you. Um, I also want to do more of these. I think this is really cool. So like I wanted to show like if the pig's throwing mud, that's fine, but see how the mud is just kind of like static and boring? I describe like if you do something like this, do you see how the mud now makes an arc according to the speed and direction that it's moving in? It just looks way better. So it's a lot of these bite-sized tutorials with, how to do stuff like this. That's GameMaker.garden. GameMaker.garden. Um, I think that's a good resource for you if you're just starting out in GameMaker. And especially if you're a visual learner, because I am, and I didn't have that resource when I learned, so that would have helped out a lot. Do you rather 2D games or 3D? Me personally, I would love to do 3D games. I just don't have the time, the ability, or the patience to learn such a wide new thing. So I much prefer 2D. A better question for me is, do I prefer vectors or pixel art? Because I do both, and both have pros and cons. I'm doing pixel art for this game mostly due to speed and ease of use. Um, but there's also a version of this game that's made with vectors, and I'm still kind of in love with the idea. Woof. It's been a struggle deciding on like what graphical style I want. I'll show off some of those. Like you can see here that it was more of a vector style, and it was controlled with the mouse. And what was fun with this is like interacting with like pulling the tree is so satisfying. And it explodes out in these little things. It's just I'll revisit it one day. There's the pig in the mud that I was talking about. Like it's just fun to pick up the mud and drop it and have it like interact. Yeah, there's lots of cool things. I'll revisit it one day. For now, it's pixel art. Look at this, like look, these interactive characters, when it's vector art, like I can use spine animation, a software program, to like look at how he's just like watching the hand. Like that's so cool. You can't really do that with pixel art. It's not as flexible either. So cool. Yeah, I love this. It's a totally different game. Same concept, but I'm just gonna get it to work. Um, so I'm just doing it this way. Alright, so what I did with the depth sorting is put the stump and this canopy top are platforms, but because the canopy top, they have the same depth at the Y, but because the canopy top is shorter, it has priority to stand on top. Um, Next I need to do something like opposite for the door. Depth. Oh, my little face isn't there. My little ping tuber dude. This lighting is terrible in my office right now. There he is. Hey, 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 sorry. I should have had that up the whole time. I'll do a face cam one day again. I just need to get the lighting set up. Instead of this, I want the depth to be I want it to be on platform level. I think that's okay just like this actually. Mr. Ping. PNG. Ping? A ping? Mr. Ping? Anyone say it like that? I say it like that. Everyone always like, why do you say that? I'm like, sorry, I know it's a little weird. Ping file? I know it's PNG, but it just sounds better saying it's a ping. Like GIF. GIF. No, that feels wrong. Like GIF is objectively wrong. I like that the platform elements pop, but they might pop too much. Foreground too much. Let's steal this chimney. Like little Yoshi's house. Video tube? Yeah, it is. I don't know how to pronounce it. How do you pronounce that? VEADO tube. Viedo tube? Vito tube? Vado tube? Yes, it is though. It is. Hey, I'm new here. If it's not too much trouble, could you briefly explain to me what your game is about? Looks nice. Hey, thank you very much. First of all, hi. Thanks for watching. My name is Sam. I'm a GameMaker user for quite some time. I have 1,000 projects, but nothing's been released. I'm that guy. Yeah, this game is definitely my passion project. This is like my grand game that I want to make. So, I had the idea. I was playing Mario Maker, and I lined up like 5 or 6 Goombas in a row, and I deleted one out of the middle. And you know, when you're doing stuff like that, it's just fun to lay down 1,000 Goombas, then delete them, and you don't think anything of it. But like, how freaked out would you be if you and 5 of your friends were hanging out, then one of your friends in the middle of the road just went and disappeared out of thin air? Would that be terrifying? Like if you saw this like cursor hand moving around and like moving your house roof to another house and deleting your friends and adding friends and dropping monsters and then moving you over to a lava block. Like how terrifying that would be, right? So this game is based on that concept where you were somebody called the Level Mancer, and you were in charge of creating levels in this world. You were kind of like a handyman for hire to go and say like, hey, I got this barren world, I need to make a level. It's kind of like breaking like a fourth wall. Like they know they're in a video game and they need to make a level. Can you help me out? So you're tasked to go into this land and you can explore it and find resources and collect things, and you can see there's like keys and sticks and mangoes, so there's an Animal Crossing kind of discovery vibe to it. So while you were playing the game, you also can go into this like edit mode and then move stuff around. You can change stuff, like change colors and edit it. So the goal is it's the game is essentially like Mario Maker beats Animal Crossing, and then just being a platformer is just the icing on the cake, something that makes it new and fresh, and it's really fun to interact and explore with the world um, when everything's a platformer, right? So it's a lot of those concepts tied together. You're the level mancer tasked with making a level beautiful, and the wacky people that live inside of it, and how your level mancing affects them in their world. Nothing's been released. You're so good at making games, and no one's gotten to play. Not in the main projects you would like. Um, I've dabbled on other people's projects here and there. I do some contract work, but nothing serious. I make a lot of assets for people to play and make their own games. I'm just a really busy person. I would love to have more time to make games, but I'm glad you like the concept. Thank you. Not much of a game yet, right? It's still just kind of like I'm just getting it mechanically together, because like it's so fun to build. I love going into this mode, and like if you like building with Lego, it's the same kind of thing. It's like this is a roof piece, but it could be anything really. A lot of people are asking when they join the streams like what it's about and that kind of thing, so I think I need to have an easy way of explaining that, because some people watching the streams were like, I've heard that like 4 times now. Like, get on with it. I'm still learning. Like this, like it's a roof piece, but look at all these interesting pieces. Like I can move this up, and it's kind of like a shrine now, right? That looks kind of cool. And then maybe I make that a house for someone. I don't know. Preview window looks Mario World-ish. Oh yeah. It's just this. It's been revised. I took off the outline of some stuff, but I don't know if you saw it. The slimes are on here too. The idea of the slimes is they're you know, when you have brain fog and you have an idea, it just feels like your brain's just mushy and boogery and gross and stuck. These things kind of serve as the, like, when you have an idea, they gum up your levels. Like, oh, you don't want that booger there. Like, you gotta crush it. When you do, you get inspiration points. You can redeem the inspiration for new items and abilities or new things to decorate with. So the themes of the game, storyline wise, is like creativity and the emotional cost of being creative and making nice things for other people. This guy. I'm glad. I want the style that I have is very whimsical. Um, a lot of things are like anime based, and while everything is always anime inspired that I do, it's very I also have like a Saturday morning cartoon or Muppety type. Is that a big white bear reading a book? It's just a statue. Um, Bear statue. Let me find it. Where'd it go? Hold on. What? Where's my room? Oh, it went down. Um, did it go? I'll add another one. It's just a bear statue. It's not reading a book. It's supposed to be like it's like paws folded, like just together. But it's a platform essentially. Just something you could build with. I thought it'd be fun to have like big stone creatures. Oh yeah, he's down. I see. But it's just part of him. I earlier on the stream here, I was like, oh, if you put him back behind here, it looks like he's like part of a desk, like he's got like a booth, and you tell him like, go this way to the sanctuary in the forest. Danveach, how's it going? Hi. We've got an active chat, guys. I love this. This is making my whole night. Thank you so much. I just want to build a community, and I want to build things I like, and I want to talk to people that I love, and I just want to build a community over like-minded individuals who I just want to make cool games, and I want to play cool games. I want a safe space that I can just chill and relax and hang out with people. I want to build it so bad. I just need to be consistent. Mr. Bear, the secretary. Mr. Bear Secretary. That's another thing with pixel art. With pixel art, everything kind of looks the same. Like, it's hard to get detail in small enough spaces, so your own personal style, like, is hard to show through. I'm gonna show... something. This project's so old now. There's so many versions of it. I'm looking through some older files. Bear with me. I'm doing stuff on the... Sorry. Okay, so here's another, like, vector part of it. Like, I have these attach points above the door. So you could attach the items onto the different levels, but you can kind of see, like, the different styles. It's more rounded. It's high resolution. The game was in, like, 1080p. The turning point for this game, or for this style, which was really cool, was I started making animated characters that would, like... They were procedurally generated. Like this. There were different pieces, and each character was randomly generated with a color, different facial expressions. They were all animated. So I had it where you can have multiple characters, and you were this hand, and you were kind of like, you know, they fought like this, and they started attacking. You could have them attack, you know, put them next to each other, and they would fight. You could see the first version of the Level Mancer here. I was just trying to figure out like an art style for it, but I love that it was a lot more abstract. To your point, kind of Muppety. This is, if you were to ask me to like draw pictures, I love doing things in this kind of like shapy, abstract style, but I wanted it to be smooth and animated well. So I started experimenting with like how these characters would react to this cursor, and it was fun to pick them up and throw them. It was just fun to kind of pick on them. And the idea eventually was like you could equip them with items and give them things. I've learned GameMaker and never looked back. Yeah, I have no complaints with GameMaker. I'm curious about Godot. I don't like Unity. So I just stuck with GameMaker. I don't have enough time to learn something new anyways, so that's okay. You can kind of see how this project has evolved from different variations of itself. But it was fun having these interactive characters. They worked out really well. I have all these videos. Let's see if I can do equipping. Oh yeah, so like you can drag the items over the character, and they would equip them. So that was a neat idea. And then eventually, that's how you would unequip it. You would just toss them up and drop them, and they would lose their items that they had. I thought that was fun. But that's what I mean. It's very fun to interact with the mouse with them. You can see like you can really customize the character pretty easily. There's lots of neat features and factors here. Rabbits reminded me of a show I didn't see. It's called Gumball and a cartoon. Oh yeah, no, I know Gumball. The Amazing World of Gumball. I also had this procedural animation where they would all like reach for the cursor. You can't really do that with pixel art. You can, but it doesn't look as good. But anyways, so it is pixel art right now. Just keeps it simple. Um, but now that you know that style where things are kind of abstract and exaggerated, now this guy makes sense, right? You're like, oh, he came from a drawing that was probably bigger and rounded, and that's why the style now is like these big round shapes. This bear is pretty detailed for the style I changed to, but um, you know, you see the house, just these big broad shapes, but they work out well. I don't know. It feels warm. I feel cozy when I play, so it's kind of the vibe I was going for. I need to step away for 2 seconds. Let me up some interesting things. Here, I'll put this on here. I actually had like a Game Boy style with those same characters too. For this is the Zelda fan in me. I want to make a Zelda game using a Game Boy style. This was so fun. I'll revisit this one day. This one for sure one day. Be right back. Alright. Sam, awesome job. Congratulations. Greeting from Mexico. Oh, hi. Hope you guys have a great night. Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you. Hope to see you soon. Thanks for joining. Alright, so we haven't done a good job. I haven't done a good job of actually having, like, it's just kind of getting messy. It's feeling messy right now. So, let's see what I actually had on my to-do list. And we can go from there. NPCs. I also want to do like blank make capsules interesting. And I think I'll do 2-in-1 here tonight. Let's knock this out. So the capsule too small. What I would like to do is it's kind of fun having these. Small, it might be too small. It is too small. I'm going to change the capsule to something a little bigger. And the reason is because I want an icon inside so you can kind of see what's inside of it. I think this is the medium already, so I'm going to do right of a larger one. Bear statue. Here's the capsule. That one's probably too small. That's fine. when you wake up, aren't you excited to work on your game? I'm impressed you have the discipline to keep it a little bit at night. Um, yeah, I would love to. Here's the thing. I'm a father of three. So, they're at all different ages when I wake up. To be blunt with you, my day doesn't belong to me anymore. So my nights belong to me. So night is when I do my dev. I'm very patient and I'm methodical with it, and I wish I had some free time at any point during the day before 9:30 p.m. every day. But right now in life, I'm not able to do that, which is totally fine. Um, I'm still able to do it, so I look forward to the night. So it allows me to be a little bit more strategic. You can kind of see like that to-do list that I made. Keeps me on track for like, oh, what do I want to work on for tomorrow? And I have to be really careful about what I work on because I don't have a lot of time to do it. But I think that helps me stay disciplined. Is like, you know, I don't sit down and go, I'm gonna work on my game today. And I just open it up and look for things to work on. I think that's a totally wrong way of doing it. You gotta have objectives. You gotta have progression markers, and you gotta have a goal in mind. Because without it, like, you wouldn't run a race without knowing where the finish line was, right? I'm gonna win a race today and then just start running. Like, you gotta know where start is. You gotta know what finish is. You gotta know how long it'll take you. You gotta know, you know, am I making good time? Am I not? Like, there's so many questions, and the same is true for anything like game development or software engineering, right? You got to have milestones. You got to know where progress is. You got to know, oh, I'm taking too long, so I got to stop doing this and start doing this. All that stuff. But again, I'm learning. I don't know. Oh, okay. This is the small capsule. I want a large capsule, so capsule large 2. Did you get the time with 3 kids? Very fortunate. Focused. I am fortunate. Thank you. Once upon a time, I was, I'll say, dicking around on the internet. Just, oh, I like making games, and I was working a lot, and then I would come home and make games all night, and that's like all I really did. But looking back on it now, and I was like, man, I would have done it so much differently, because you don't know how much free time I thought I had no free time back then, and if I know what I know now, I'd be like, Sam, you had all the free time in the universe, and you did nothing with it. And now that I actually don't have it, I feel more productive now than I ever have been. Funny how that works. There are times when I really get the flow and just sit there developing a game for almost 8 hours straight. Totally. You get that hyper focus. And then there's also some days where you refactor what you did the previous day, and it does nothing but make you feel good. You get the plus days and the minus days, and the days that feel like plus days but are actually just sitting idle. Or maybe not. I don't know. That's me anyways. Don't let me project on your behalf. I wish I had 8 hours even possible to do that with. You have all the time in the world. Take advantage. Look at this. This looks so much juicier. Look at the size of that capsule now. Probably too big. But it looks fun, right? It looks like I'm in a big, like, it makes everything look like a toy now suddenly when it's that big. Like, the character can fit inside of here. That's fun. But why I wanted to do that is because, like, okay, so I want this canopy to have a So I need to find a way to break this down into a 16 by 16 icon Either he's George Jetson. He absolutely is. Jane, his wife. Um, might be dating ourselves there, but it's okay. That not look nice at all. It's technically a representation. But it's doing. Doesn't even look like. Here, let's corners out a little bit of it. This. Icon. Very canopy icon. I have no kids, so no excuse not to master GameMaker if that's my goal. You've inspired me. You have all the time in the world. Even if it feels like you don't, you do. I don't know everyone's situation on here, so you might not, but you. Oh man, if I could go back and shake myself at 23 years old. Doing? What are you doing? Like you're being productive, but you are not being productive. Get a plan. Do not start coding without a goal. Learn smart. And inside, I will do sprite. Draw sprite, which draws a sprite. SPR icon 0xy, and then I will draw capsule. And what that should do is draw a little icon of the canopy inside of it. Next thing you see me chat about, I have my game ready to launch. I hope not. I hope you visit every night and just tell me what you're learning about. I think that'd be really interesting. Meaning, I hope it doesn't take you so long to come back to the stream here to tell me how you're, you know, you haven't been in so long that all of a sudden now you've learned GameMaker and have a game to launch. But I hope you launch a game. But check this out. Now we got a capsule and it's got a little like grass block inside, so you kind of know what's inside of it, right? One thing I'd like to do is the item isn't. Oh, you know what? Look, by default, when they're landing, it's not flexing down. Let's fix that. No, because I think I have so much time compared to you, I better be grinding. You better be. Take advantage. Big advantage for sure on platformer dot on land effect function right dot squish. So now item lands. Yeah, it squishes. That's hard to see, but it does. That's nice. Yeah, so check this out. That's cool. You got that insight just by naming it specifically. So in every object, you have different events, and the events trigger different code at different points in time. So I created an object called obj capsule, and it's represented by this sprite, which is just of the capsule that I created called SPR capsule. So you have a sprite asset and an object asset. Events in the create event happen when this object is first like created in the room. In the step event, the code in here will run once every frame of your game. In this case, my game's 60 frames a second, so this will run 60 times in 1 second. So it's just like continuously. And the draw event is how do you want this object drawn to the screen. By default, it'll just draw it to the screen at whatever position it's at with this sprite, but you can customize the way it's drawn. So without going too much into an invent inherited and what that means, it's just saying draw this like you would normally, but before that I want you to draw a sprite of the canopy icon, and I want to use frame 0 of the canopy icon, and I want you to draw this sprite at the current X and Y position of this capsule. So it just draws that sprite first, and then it draws the bubble over it so it looks like it's inside. It's all an optical illusion. So like if we did draw sprite SPR, there's a ton of here. Let's draw the main character, which is SPR apprentice. We'll draw frame 0 of the apprentice at the current X and Y. And let's run that. So it's drawing the canopy icon and then the apprentice and then the sprite that's assigned to the object. Now you can see when I pick it up, like it's not like there's an actual playable character in there. It's just drawing a picture behind it. That's all. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just redefining its drawing behavior when it's being drawn to the screen. Instead of just saying you're the capsule, I'm telling it you've got an icon, then a picture of the playable character, and then the capsule. But I don't need the apprentice there. The other thing that I want to happen will be you can throw things, but I want to say sprite dot angle minus or equal to 5 times platformer dot x push, I think it is. So it's like saying the faster you're moving through the air, the more you can rotate, the more the item should rotate. So let's see if it does. Yeah, see, so now the stick is rotating as I throw it, or the key. You see it like flipping through the air, it looks a lot better. Some things you wouldn't expect to spin like that, right? Like if it was like a box, you wouldn't want the box to spin. I think a stick looks good, a mango looks fine. It's interesting the way it like deforms. So I have the capsule here. By default, it wouldn't make sense that that's in here. So here's something that's interesting. So see how I have the icon of the canopy behind it? See, the icon's not spinning with with it, it's just staying upright because I'm not drawing it. I didn't tell it to draw it at a certain rotation. I told it just to draw itself. If I wanted what's inside of it to spin with, I would say this. Give it some more drawing thing. So draw sprite, this function accepts a sprite, a frame, and an X and Y position. But draw sprite ext allows me to put in a scale, which will say 1 and 1. It's going to say what rotation. I'm going to say at whatever image angle this object is at. Nope, that's wrong. Whatever sprite dot angle is at. So the angle of the sprite being drawn. What color? I just want it white, which is the same as saying just whatever default color it is, and an alpha of 1, meaning not transparent. So now, the icon inside will spin with the capsule. And you may want that behavior, you might not, I don't know. Another thing we'll do to make this a little bit more interesting is, do you see like when you pick it up and throw it, like from all the way up here, it just kind of stops. It doesn't look that satisfying, right? Like, oh yeah, look how weird that is. That looks weird. Gee, it's spinning around the wrong axis. It's very funny. So I want something in the item. When you land, and effect. What I'm trying to do is get the speed of an object as it lands. So on land effect, so debug message point distance between this X and Y, 0, 0, and platformer dot X push and platformer dot Y speed. That's a platformer. I did it twice. So is okay, so there is a speed, so we'll say we'll name a variable and we'll say var distance equals, and so I'm measuring the distance between nothing and how far it's moving through the air horizontally and how far it's moving vertically, and I'll store distance in that. I'll say if distance is greater than 5, y speed time -1. eventually that'll bounce, maybe, perhaps, maybe? Nope. Oh, not Y speed, it's platformer.yspeed. I have to really like think about this. So okay, so that's why it's not. Where land equals false. Land if land let's see if this works first. Look at that, now it's everyone's bouncy. That is working. If not land. Then in here, after the land, very weird and abstract. Should have bounced, and it didn't. It betrayed me. So it's going to return false, and then here land if grounded equals false on land effect. And I would need it to say apprentice, where I'm landing. Exit. Let's see. Bag item. Platformer. When I land with this apprentice, do I not totally messed up? That one. Platformer dot on land effect equals function. Right, dot squish. True. Hey Sahan, how's it going? Thanks. Much. Okay, yeah. This is what I want. Whoa, we're having ourselves a bouncy time. Everything's bouncing. So that was fun. That's a funny bug. Oh goodness. All right. 7.5, or should it just be 0.5? I don't know. And it's not 2. I want it to be greater than 5. This will bounce once or twice. Yeah, that's too bouncy. Let's do platformer dot x push times or equal to 0.5, and we'll just it's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Dunk. Yeah, so just adds a little extra something. Poof. Bugs. Nice. Boop. I need to create enter cursor. X plus dot sprite width times 0.2, 0.5 I mean. Right. Height. I think now, if I poof these, oh, the poof is in the middle, but the box is in the wrong spot. I see what's happening there. So because return false, I think, does it return true by default? Greater than 5. I'm gonna have to like drop to the floor real quick. Computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions. Also, did I enter that door automatically? No. Something else was afoot. Yeah. I don't like... I'm gonna reverse all of that. I don't like the way that bounce is handling. It shouldn't be that hard to bounce it. Poof, 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 poof. It's a lot of capsules. You know what I can also do, because I want things to always bounce up. I don't want them to stay rotated. It doesn't look horrible though. I might leave them actually rotated. I'm gonna see how mad everyone gets with my mixels. My mixed rotated, my rixels. I guess that's what it's called when they're rotated, rixels. Item equals items dot key. The key up here. Oh, that's right. So the capsule has a... I see what's going on here. That's what I needed to do. But I needed to have something else inside. Look at the bad origin points on those jars. That's funny. Demolition. Okay, I'm getting distracted. I'm running out of steam here. I don't just have an item capsule, but I want to control what's inside of the capsule. What? Type equals decor. Let's do if item type equals capsule. Let's copy this. Actually, if I want to, or that's fine. Hate it. But the object is contents. Canopy? Haven't done yet. Building piece. I don't know if this will work. Nope. Content's not set. Contents is set here. Items not. Is that one of them? Yep. Oh, it's gone. I just absorbed it. Fences of what type of item? I don't know. I can't. I'm getting a mental block. Tired. I just happened to pick the one I think had an error. Boom. No, content's not set before reading it. I'm setting contents. don't know what the honor rate is. Yeah. Carry item. Books. Boom. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to manage that a little bit differently. So I think that's important for the conveyance of this game. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to work. Part of the flow here of what I want to do. Items in inventory make capsules interesting, but specifically, capsules should contain the core item. It should contain other items. Reflect their contents and release its object when so similar to here. Let's see, there's a canopy in here now, so why don't we just let's do items dot canopy equals new item. It's the contents will be a canopy. So when I use this, poof, I've got a canopy. And then when I push that, item equals this. Item dot dot I'll just do canopy for now. I don't like that. Item dot contents. Manage that a lot better. So poof. Oh, that's funny. I'm using it like a. That's not right at all. I created an item, but what I want to create is items.capsule. capsule. Capsule. I need to create a capsule. Poof. So funny. It's not. Capsule. Maybe that's. I'm loading it and I shouldn't. Alright, so that's almost there. Does this make a canopy too? Poof, it does. Poof, poof, poof. Canopy. Canopy. I've made a tree maker. Anyways, I'm gonna take a stop for there. So tomorrow what I need to do is have it so when I box these back up, they reflect what's inside of them. They're just empty. Which is so I'll make capsules better so I can actually start providing capsules to the player. You can start building stuff with it circumstantially. Anyways, thanks for all the active chats tonight, guys. That was a lot of fun. I appreciate everyone taking time out of their day and saying hi and checking out the things that I'm making. I want to hear more about what you guys are making as well, so sound off in comments or just hit me up on stream. I'll be back tomorrow. But thank you all for watching. I appreciate it and have a nice night. Thanks. Bye-bye.